Hey everyone, and welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. This is episode 310, recorded on March 11th, 2025. We're going to be talking all about the recent Pokemon news, along with several other updates, as well as wrapping up the news of all the things we got on Mario Day 2025. My name is Steve, and of course, I am joined by my fellow co-hosts Barry and Greg. Barry, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. Glad to be back, and it's another fun week to talk about video games.
Cool. But unfortunate news is your cough's still around. I hear though. So
Yeah, my cough is just hanging around. It's the last little straggler from this damn sickness that I've been fighting for 4 weeks now.
wow,
All from daycare. My son's fine. He's like, yeah, this is good. I'm like dying over in the corner.
he's bouncing back quick.
Man, to
Nice.
be young again, I tell you.
Greg, how are you doing?
Still pretty much hanging in there, so lots of stuff going on around here. So I've just been pretty busy keeping myself playing some games and trying to stay on top of some of these big news that we got to discuss tonight.
Yeah. Lots to discuss tonight. But before we jump into that, if you are new and you've not joined us before on the Nintendo Fuse podcast, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, and we hope to have you stick around and listen to more and join us more. If you've never joined us live, we go live every other Tuesday, pretty much on a regular schedule, with few breaks during the year. But we do make that happen every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Love having you guys in the live chat when we go live. We do that on both YouTube and Twitch. Usually Twitch. Every once in a while we can't get that, but usually also on both of those platforms, and love to have you guys there. But if you are, listening after the fact, that's cool, or watching after the fact, that's cool too. All good stuff. And if you have never joined us over on social media or our Discord, we'd love to have you guys there as well. The links are going to be on the screen in the video version, but also in our YouTube description and our podcast show notes. Again, we'd love to have you join us on social media and also on our Discord to continue talking games. So it's great to have you guys there as well. Let's jump in as we always do and talk about what we've been playing lately. And we'll go to you first, Greg.
Nice, quick and short list this time around. So pretty much I was just trying to catch up on some of the game chat games and only got around to one of them, and that was the Sam & Max Devil's Playhouse. So hopefully we'll get that game chat out here in a few weeks or whatever. Pretty much, so I'll be saving my thoughts for it as normal there. And then pretty much over the last 2 weeks, that I also was playing like some Roblox, and this time I actually managed to get my wife Kelly hooked on to the main game that I play with my daughter. So like we've been doing a lot of like all three of us playing at the same time and playing it for like several hours even on end. And with her not working for the time being, she's been putting a lot of time into the game throughout the day while I am working. So yeah, it's safe to say I got her hooked pretty good on it. And pretty
Nice.
much that was the other main game I was playing was the Disney Pixel RPG. So they finally released Chapter 5, and it seemed like it's already seemed like they were getting ready to wrap up the first story based on what they had it kind of way it was concluding. So I don't know if there's gonna be like a book 2 or how they're gonna go forward with it, because it seems like it's almost at a point to they could be wrapping up the first set of the story. So I don't. It's gonna be really weird about that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've just been continuing the grind on there, and they did some more quality of life updates. They have some rankings of every single player worldwide to say like this player is but pretty much the most money to have the most leveled up characters and all that kind of stuff. So I am in like the top like 4 or 500. So I'm surprised
Wow.
about that. But I know a lot of people have dropped off the game after the first whatever 150 days that the game was out. So
Hmm.
I guess there's that.
Nice. Well, that's good for you, I guess then.
Yep.
Fun. Barry, what have you been playing in the middle of coughing and recovering?
Yeah, so I haven't done as much, especially compared to last time where I had 4 weeks worth. On the Switch, still doing Pokemon Unite and Star Wars Hunters daily. Went back to Pokemon Scarlet, which is something we're going to be talking about with Pokemon Day. They started some special Terra raids for the past 2 weekends, so I went and got my special Pokemon for those 2 raids. I booted up Pokemon Cafe Remix to get the bonus items. I never booted up before, like the special Pokemon Day thing, and I think I missed it. But what I didn't know is that this game is only playable via touchscreen. And booting it up on the TV, I had to get up and pull out the dock. You pull out the Switch out of the dock, and I'm like, here I am again. I was 3 weeks doing this, and here I am again, sitting on the floor. It's a mindless game. It definitely is a mobile game first, but it's so weird that they didn't even allow you to use the controller to even do the menus or to back out of the game. Like, no, once you boot it up, you were committed. You have to pull the Switch out of the dock and touch the screen, or you're screwed. So that was a really weird design choice. Um, Still working on House of Fata Morgana. Um, Awesome story. I'm I think in chapter 5, and I really want to finish it, but my TV got fixed. Thank God. So my TV finally got fixed after 3 weeks of no
Nice.
TV, which means I was able to boot up the PS5 and get into Legend of Heroes: Trails Through Daybreak 2, 2 weeks late. And I am on Act 3 now, so I'm really about halfway through Act 3. I'm really close to the end of the game. I've been gunning through it because there's another big game coming out next week, and I absolutely have to be ready for that. Plus, I've got game chat games. Plus, I need to go back to House of Fata Morgana because I want to finish that story up, and that's a big story. So I'm like, oh, and I got to do this. It's Legend of Heroes, and it's great. It uses it uses a new mechanic. It's always weird when they introduce new mechanics this late into the game. But now it's using time travel mechanics, which I love time travel, where you get to a dead end and your character like dies and it's like, "Oh my God." And then it's like, "No, you go back," and it's like, "Oh, you could do things differently." I'm like, I love when games do that because you get to see branching paths. So they introduced that. But it is awesome. It is not a game that I would recommend anyone pick up as the first Trails of game. I think it's not that game. You will be lost. But there's a lot of callbacks and a lot of fun stuff for fans of the other games, and combat is still just as great and fluid. So I'm having fun with it. Then on the PC, still doing Final Fantasy 14 when I get the chance, and mobile, I'm still doing Mario Kart Tour, the New York Times games, and of course Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Nice. Nice. I'm curious though, like last time we've talked about your TV, they had
Mhm.
it ordered two different components. Where did both of them work, or did they have to use
It
both of
was
them?
we ordered two of the same.
Yeah.
So we knew what the problem was. They ordered the part came back, and it was a bad part from Samsung.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, we have to order another part. And I said, could we order two of them just in case this happens again? And they said, yeah. So the first one went in and it worked perfectly. So we never
Cool.
even tested the second one. There was no point. I'm
Nice.
not going to use my TV as a guinea pig. It worked. They set it all up, but it's like a brand new TV because that was the computer of the
Oh.
TV that went out. So like I had to like put in all my Netflix password and Disney Plus password and set everything, all the inputs up again, and it's like it was like factory reset. Like they had to go into the menus and put in special codes to tell the TV like, oh no, this is an authorized TV that's been bought. Please, you can connect to Samsung and the internet, and it's not stolen or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, like this is crazy. So, knock on wood. I said, what's the warranty on this? Right? This is from Samsung. Year, 2 years, what? You get 60 days. If it breaks after 60 days, you're SOL. I'm like, 60 days? What the hell kind of warranty is that? You've already sent one that's busted,
Yeah. Wow.
but now we know what the fix is.
That's good. Yeah.
Unless the screen goes out.
Yeah, I
Screen
feel like
goes
that
out,
goes
that's
for
it.
I feel like that goes for a lot of electronic stuff though. Like they like, oh, it's only whatever 30, 60 days. Like, well, what if this gonna then it's almost like at 61 days is usually when it dies again.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Even
as,
you would think
from
even
my
Best Buy would
experience.
be like, we'll do some kind of warranty or something. You want to
Extended
add it,
warranty, yeah.
an extended warranty. They didn't even do that on the part. They're like, no, like, we don't even do that. You have 60 days. from that, and that's it. And if they screwed up the TV when repairing it, that's on them. But they
Sure.
didn't. They did a great job. They were wonderful, technicians that came to the house, and they fixed it. I mean, I was just happy to have a TV again, and it cost us less than buying a new TV of the same size at a fuzz of 4K. So, knock on wood, this lasts for much longer than 4 years.
Nice. Nice. I also have not been playing very much at all. I basically just been going back to my regulars. Playing a lot of Rocket League here at the very end of season, whatever it is. I can't even remember what it is. I think the new season started today. I haven't booted it up. It either starts today or tomorrow. But yeah, it's been interesting. They added a few things for this upcoming season, and people are still wondering why they have kind of abandoned the game. But they're like, we're adding things in. And like, these are not the things we're asking for. So hopefully at some point, Epic will update it to Unreal Engine 5 and we'll all be happy and excited and they'll bring back trading and all those things. But for now, it is still my go-to game when I just have a little bit of time and want to play some and kind of mindlessly hit a ball around with a rocket car. But yeah, it's not something that I'm like really, really into as I once was. But oh well, I'm still having fun. Clash Royale kind of took a little bit of a boost this last like couple weeks and playing it a little bit more. But yeah, just it's another one of those things that's kind of mindless as I'm going here and there and everywhere, which is what my life has been about here and there these last couple weeks. And then been playing Pokemon TCG as well, and made a mindless stupid trade with Barry just so I can get some points in the game.
I noticed that. I was
You
like,
notice that?
"What?" He was like, I'm like, you're just doing this for this mission that
Yep.
requires doing a trade." Because my
Exactly.
wife and I have been trading, and I'm like, this is what Steve's doing. I'm just gonna trade with him, and we use my stamina to help him out because I know what he's doing.
Yep. I just picked a random card that I had several of. I'm like, no one wants this, and I really don't care what Barry gives me back. Yeah.
You could have asked and said, "Is there any like cheap?" Because I'm missing a couple of the really really common cards.
I really.
I could have been
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, this could have helped me," but no, I just got a random card that I didn't need.
Yeah.
But I knew what you were doing, so I
Yeah.
traded with you anyway.
We can do strategic trades some other time. I just wanted the mission at that point. But
No, I
yeah.
got you loud and clear.
You know, one thing I don't like about Pokemon TCG, and this is a stupid thing, but I've noticed like we can give thumbs up to like, each other's
Like, thank
the cards or whatever is
you.
on display. I can't see how many thumbs up or likes or whatever I've gotten. Why not?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know. I can't see either. I have to ask Michelle, and I'm like, "How many do I have now?"
yeah. And
But at least you
then
can get 5 shop tickets a day doing that and other things.
yeah, that's true. And the other thing I wish they did was I think it's in at pretty much any time. I wish they had a little counter on the card to show you how many it is that you have already, rather than have to tap in it and then see how it is, whether it be on, the any of those screens that you have an opportunity to get a card. Like you have to tap into it every single time
Well,
and
at
go
least it
out of
shows
it.
you if you have it though,
That
or
is
you don't
true.
have
I'm
it.
glad it tells me, but it'd be nice to have just a little number by it rather than having to go in and out, in and out, in and out all the time. So
Yeah.
that'd be a
Well,
nice
those
little,
are quality life improvements
quality of
they could
life
always
thing.
add.
Yeah. Hopefully they will in the future. So Pokemon, if you're listening, and I know you are, thanks for the future update for listening to me.
Hopefully you've been enjoying the new set, which has been terrible for me. I've had terrible luck on the new
Oh,
set.
really? I've
Yeah,
actually had
I
pretty
keep
good luck
getting
on
crap
this one.
cards. I still need
Yeah.
2 Leafeon EXs.
Mm, I can't remember what I have. I it's gotten to like I'm glad they keep adding more and more to it, but like I've gotten to the point where I can't remember what I have and what I don't have because it's just too much. It's like trying to remember like doing Pokemon back in like blue and red days were great. I was like I can almost memorize all these. Nowadays, nah, no chance at all.
Yeah,
And
but they have to keep adding cards, otherwise people will stop playing.
they do, and I'm glad they do. But gone are my days of trying to memorize what I have and don't have. It's cool though. Like it's a good problem to have for
Yeah.
sure.
At least unlike Rocket League, the game is very much alive.
That is very true. Although this game is not very old, where Rocket League is
Yeah,
a little older, and they've just
just a little
almost
bit.
abandoned it. Just a bit. And they have years and years and years of the actual card game to build off of.
Yep.
That helps a lot. One thing that has been really good, even though I've been going over the last several weeks, and unfortunately haven't had a ton of time for games, but I've been getting a lot done, and a lot of it has to do with this little shot that I've been continuing to take every day. Magic Mind has been so helpful for me, and like it helps me get so much done, and it's come to this point where there's days where I forget to take it, and I can clearly notice that my productivity and my focus is down. And I don't know if you guys have had a similar experience, but I've been really, really pleased with being able to do Magic Mind, and incredibly thankful that they've sent some of these over for us to continue trying. Greg, what's your experience been like with Magic Mind over the last few weeks of taking it, of drinking it, and things like that?
I would definitely agree. Like you can really notice a difference if you are not taking it every single day. Like so when I take like the one throughout the day, it helps me stay focused on my work tasks and also continues to help me stay focused through powering through some of these different game chats that we do here on the channel. So like it was this time around, it was helping me out with like Salmon Max 3 that requires a few extra thoughts to try to solve some of the different puzzles that the game has to offer. And the other beauty part was that they had also sent like the nighttime one. So then after you're done powering through the day, it's a nice relaxing thing to take right before bed. So then pretty much you take that and then you're able to just kind of like lay down and you're just able to just relax and immediately kind of like fall asleep very quickly. So definitely notice a difference. Like if I miss either one of those, either the daytime one or the nighttime one throughout the time of throughout this entire experience with it. So
Nice. Barry, how about you?
Yeah, the past few weeks I've been fighting this damn virus, and I'll tell you, it's been kicking my butt, and I needed energy because I need to be able to play with my kid and be able to, get things done and not just sit around and mope. And Magic Mind has given me the energy to get up and do that, and not just be like, "Oh, today's a sick day." It's just literally giving me the energy to fight through it and be like, "No, I need to get things done." It's kept me on my toes. It's been such a helpful tool to really, really just to get a new arsenal. That closet full of medicine that you take your go-tos since childhood. It's like no, this is a new thing, and it's a new way to combat. And then nighttime, diseases are always worse at night for whatever reason, and the nighttime one has helped me fall asleep, even through the coughs, and get better rest and fight this off and wake up much more refreshed. So I've been very thankful having it in my arsenal right now, especially.
Nice. Yeah, over this last year, I am now 1 year away from coffee. I stopped drinking coffee, and even this year alone, I stepped away from like energy drinks and all that different stuff. But Magic Mind's actually kept me going, and because it has this like low dose, like and it lets out the little bit of caffeine that it has, it trickles it out, and so it's not like a big push and like you're out within no time. It gives you lasting energy, and it's 100% safe. It's made from all these third-party tested ingredients created by a scientific advisory board of doctors and medical researchers. It contains all these different vitamin C and vitamin D that's sourced from the best suppliers. So if you're kind of confused and like, I don't know if I trust this, no, this is something you can trust. We've been drinking it on several different occasions, and we want to give you a chance to do that as well. So thanks so much to Magic Mind for giving us the samples to try out, but also for giving us this deal. So you can head over to magicmind.com/NF for NintendoFuse, NF20, and you're going to be able to save up to 48% off your first subscription, or 20% off with a one-time purchase by using the code NF20 when you do purchase it. So head over to magicmind.com/NF20. Again, check that out. And if you're not sure, and you're like, I don't know, this kind of still, I'm not really sure about this sort of thing. You can try it for actually for 100 days. They'll give you your money back. So try it out. And here's our encouragement. If you want to do this, try a 7-day challenge. We're going to issue a 7-day challenge. Head over to magicmind.com/NF20, check it out, get an order, try it for 7 days, see if it actually helps you. And if it doesn't, that's fine. But if it does, stick with it. We're so grateful for Magic Mind for sponsoring this episode, but also for giving you a chance to check out their product and save some money. So let's head into our headlines. We've got lots to talk about today, and Greg's going to kick us off with the first one.
All right, so I got a few musical updates here. So the Nintendo Music app that's on iOS and Android got a few sections of games. So as of March 3rd, we got Link to the Past was added, and then just recently, just yesterday, we got Super Mario Brothers 3. So if you want to check out some awesome tracks and more, be sure to download the Nintendo Music app, providing that you are a NSO subscriber. And then also we got some Alarmo news. So that's kind of similar to the musical sense and an aspect because it's an alarm clock that plays Nintendo music. So pretty much the Super Mario Brothers scenes are now being added to kind of display on the clock front. So previously they would show a few scenes from like Breath of the Wild and other games like that, but now that they've also kind of retroactively adding in some retro style ones like Super Mario Brothers. So hopefully some more will come after more will come in the future.
And on top of all that, look, we know we all love presentations, right? We're going to be talking about the Pokemon presents here shortly, and we all miss E3, but that has really spurred other companies to go out there and do some presentations. So there's two presentations that have been announced that I want to talk about quickly. One, the Wholesome Direct. It's returning again this summer. So Wholesome Direct has a bunch of cozy, wholesome games in it. It's coming in June. We don't know the date yet, but they are taking submissions right now until March 20th from different developers. So if you're interested in submitting a game, you have time. And if you're interested in watching, get ready for this summer. On top of that, last year, the Triple I initiative was its first year and did really well. We covered it on a NintendoFuse podcast. They just announced that they are coming back soon. No hosts, no ads, just games is their tagline, and they're put on by some great people. And I'm very much so. I'm looking forward to the next Triple I initiative presentation. So hopefully you are too.
Nice. Guys, I got some bad news for you. Nintendo Switch Online has officially gotten its first game pulled from the service, both in Japan and North America. So I believe it's pretty much the West. So pretty much all across the board. Super Soccer it is going to be pulled. Has been pulled. I can't remember the date that it's actually going to happen. But unfortunate news that we're getting games pulled. But it's not all bad though, because we also got some new games added to the NSO. 2 classic Game Boy games are now available for the Nintendo Switch Online. That includes Mario's Picross and Donkey Kong. So if you've never played them, or if you're wanting to get back to those Game Boy games, you can now play them on Nintendo Switch Online.
And speaking of more things being added, Nintendo's now added some more to their Lego collection. So the Lego Mario Kart, it will now be launching on May 15th. So Nintendo of America had a little special intro video where they added obviously Mario Kart sound effects and other cool things there, but then it was pretty much like the little reveal trailer that will be launching in just a few short time here. In addition, they were made another announcement on Twitter. The next Maximus Cup for Tetris 99, the Maximus Cup number 46, that is, will be running here from March 14th through the 17th. And pretty much you'll be, if you get like some points or whatever, you can get a new theme to unlock with music and further art stuff and whatever. I guess it's like a main Tetris type theme this time around.
And we all know what yesterday was. It was March 10th, also known as Mario Day. And a lot of this stuff that we've talked about has been, their way of celebrating Mario Day. But that's not all that's been covered. There are some other things. In case you're interested, there's obviously talking about the Mario 3 soundtrack. They're talking about the Game Boy games, but there's Mario and Friends Nintendo Switch games. There's a bunch of games on sale right now, discounted on the My Nintendo store as well as the eShop, all featuring the lovable plumber, of course. There's other stuff like the epic Super Nintendo World Sweepstake that you can enter right now. I know Steve wants to enter, so I chose not to enter, so I wouldn't compete with him. But you can enter and compete
No
with
one else
Steve,
should
so go
enter.
for it. There's other stuff like JetBlue has the Cloud Top Cruiser featuring Mario and friends. That was actually just near us here in New York. It's an Airbus A320 restyled. Looks really cool. They had a Nintendo Mario Day event in Nintendo New York. There's GameStop game demos everywhere. There's just a bunch of stuff, and it's really interesting how this fan created holiday, if you will, Nintendo is actually embracing.
Nice. And lastly, I think to celebrate, Mario Day, it's fun to talk about a silly story here. Some guy in Paris decided to walk, and that doesn't sound too crazy, Steve. Uh, but he decided to walk and bike over about 37 miles in Paris in order to create a GPS image of Mario's face across Paris. So, congratulations, dude. That takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and I don't think I would ever be up for that. But I'm glad you did. I'm glad there are people out there that do crazy things like this just for the sake of being crazy. And now, we have Mario's face on top of Paris.
I like how the two different fields make him look like wall-eyed as well. Like
It's true. It almost looks like Wario in a way. He's a little off there. Greg, anything stand out to you from these stories?
Yeah, I always love the music updates for like the Alarmo thing, and along with even like the music app. I mean, I use the music app pretty much all the time. Like when I'm in the car, it's like my primary source for music. So, I mean, I haven't really played around with the Alarmo update thing yet, but I'm sure that'll be something I'll want to check out here soon. It's always great to see those other presentations still kind of being like the virtual E3 space with E3 no longer there. So it's great to see those there. Um, the Lego Mario Kart thing is also looking really cool. I'll have to see if I want to pre-order it, or what I want to do is if I want to add it to the Legend of Zelda one up behind my head that's not in the best view with this camera angle. Um, with terms of the NSO stuff, it's great that they're still adding more games, and obviously it was really surprising and somewhat sad to see the first game getting delisted. I would almost thought that would have been like GoldenEye due to all the rights and issues that that game has dealt with over the years, and not really been able to have been on like virtual console and stuff. But I guess hopefully the fans of Super Soccer help play through it as before. I think it's like later this month that it comes down. I believe it's gonna be like just before like the Switch 2 Direct.
Hmm.
The Maximus Cups, I haven't really done fun stuff with that, and then um, I did check out the Mario Day sales, and it was pretty great to see that they're still continuing to have those there, and I continue to see lots of people complaining how the Nintendo games don't go on sale, but then here's your opportunity to actually get those games on sale. So, like whether it's digitally or at like Target or Walmart or wherever you buy your games, like be great time to pick up some great games like Mario Wonder and even like Super Mario RPG and other great Mario games. I did see like I think I don't know if it's the same guy that did the Paris one, but I have seen like a few other like news stories with him like drawing like making like little path things with like bikes or face, and I feel like that was also Paris, but I'm sure it might be the same guy. But that's pretty cool that this also lined up with like the Mario Day thing that he was kind of almost planning ahead to do something like that. So that's really cool to see as well.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And for those who are wanting to, if you're watching the video, you haven't seen you haven't seen the JetBlue plane. This is what it looks like. Compliments of JetBlue's Instagram post. You can see the whole transformation, and they paint it there and everything. But But yeah, pretty cool. It'd be fun to all of a sudden, you get on a plane and you find yourself on the Mario plane. It's fun. Barry, anything stand out to you?
Yeah, so always good to see more updates to Nintendo Music and Alarmo. I don't use the app nearly like Greg does though. Um, the love new presentations, so Wholesome Direct, Triple I, happy to see those come back. Look forward to seeing what they show off. The Donkey Kong and Mario Picross added to NSO is great, finally. I was kind of surprised Super Mario Brothers Deluxe didn't get added as well. That's still a missing game. But I'll tell you, I am so upset about Super Soccer.
Mm.
And the reason is all these streaming services, there's tons of them. Every single month we lose stuff and we gain stuff. One of the worst parts about this streaming future, even the digital future, things go away. And it seemed like NSO was like this haven. It was like, no, things are on here and it's perpetual. This is just because they don't add games quickly, right? They're really, really slow. So it seems like this is like a perpetual growing library. And now that this has happened, it takes that mask off. And it's like, no, nothing here is permanent. So if Nintendo was like, you know what, let's get rid of Golden Sun, they could just do it. They could just do it. And granted, we always knew they could do it, but why would they? And Super Soccer is one of those games that's actually published by Nintendo. I think Spike Chunsoft developed it. I'm hoping it's a rights thing, and they're like, well, you know what, we want some more money, and they'll be like, all right, here you go, you can make the Spike Chunsoft version, whatever, and put it back on NSO. But I think if we get into this kind of lifestyle where it's like the game's added to NSO, it's not a celebration, it's a ticking time bomb. All right, great, but how long do we have it for? We have it for 3 years? Great. Do we have it for 3 months? Like Greg was mentioning with GoldenEye, there's rights there. When Sonic or when Sega, started with the Genesis, they put Sonic 2. And then they were like, oh, Sonic Origins is coming out. We're not adding any more Sonic games to NSO. But they flat out said we're also not going to take away Sonic 2. And to me, that was like, this is a safe haven. They got on there, it's squeaked in there, it's safe. And that's gone. So I think there's a bad precedent. Even if you say it's only Super Soccer, who cares? You're right. It's only Super Soccer. Today. Tomorrow it's Banjo Kazooie. You know, anything can happen. And at least I don't want games to disappear. I don't think you would want, if you're watching this and you care about video games, you would want them to disappear either. Maybe you're a masochist. Maybe you say all games should disappear. That's you. Have fun. You know what you could do? You could take your Switch, you could throw out the window there, boom, you have no games. Don't ruin it for the rest of us. Moving on. Lego Mario Kart, it just doesn't interest me for the price. I think it's just a little too high. But give it a couple years, my son's like, I want it, and he's gonna get it. I can't say no to him.
Pretty good.
Tetris 99. I'm gonna do the cup if I remember. Mario Run. I missed some. They did Mario. I didn't talk about this, but Mario Run they're re-putting the events for Mario Run that I didn't get them all. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna boot it up and try and get them this time. I never play the game, but it's fun to just go back and do that. So I think that's cool. And for the Nintendo fan that walked, 31 miles and biked 37 miles, you know what? Mazel tov. You are in good shape because I would not do that.
Yeah. That's a lot of dedication, and I do believe what you said, Greg. I think he is known as like a GPS artist. I think, and so I think he does this kind of frequently enough to kind of to start to be known for it a little bit. And I think he is from France, so it's probably other times that had been over Paris as well. But it's fun. And yeah, I love that the music app, it keeps getting updated. I'm like you, Barry. I don't use it nearly as much as Greg does, but I love that it's there. And just because when I do want to listen to it, it's going to be great. And I love they're going back and adding some classic music like A Link to the Past and Mario 3. Alarmo. I I'm just surprised they didn't put Super Mario Brothers on at the beginning. Like that was more the weird thing, but maybe they were holding out for this update. They knew it was going to happen. Wholesome Direct, Triple I initiative. Always excited about more games to be announced. Um, I have some thoughts around the Super Soccer thing too. Barry and I kind of chatted a little bit in our Discord as well. It's like, you knew this was going to happen eventually, but at the same time, like, yeah, it's always sad to see it happen, especially the first time, because it did seem like it was, for some reason, it was the one streaming service that was out there that wasn't getting things taken away, and here we are. I'm interested to see why. If I'm hoping it does pop up again, but here we can just hope that maybe it was just a one-time thing, maybe moving forward. But it kind of does, like, did it open that Pandora's box, if you will, and now all of a sudden a lot of other games are going to come off. You can't help but think about that. Hopefully that's not going to be the case, but you can't help but let your mind kind of wander down that path. But it's interesting to me, like, as well. I noticed, I was watching something just the other day. I think it was yesterday, and they were talking about how there are a bunch of discs and like DVDs, I guess, that are showing like a lot of DVD rot
Oh,
now,
the
like
Warner
media
Brothers.
rot.
There's
Yeah,
like the 2008 era Warner
yeah.
Brother DVD.
So it crossed my mind that and reminded me that even though we think physical media is more safe than digital media, even physical media could go away if disc rot and things like that affect what we have, and even chips and things like that won't last forever. They will hopefully last longer than the digital services and things like that, but it is kind of sad to see that happen. I haven't went back through all my DVDs and my video games to find out if any of them are doing that. I'm hoping not, because I used to collect a lot of DVDs back in the day, and that's a lot to go through. But it's nice to see Warner Brothers is actually replacing them. I don't know. I guess they're reproducing some or what, but that's nice to see.
It was just there was a time period. There was two different time periods where it was just cheap. They were just like, oh, it's just too cheap, and they realized afterwards that was a bad thing, so they don't last. It's the same thing with a lot of Sega Saturn games. They were
Mm.
cheaply done, and now there's certain games will have disc rot. Disc rot is not like, oh, I have one of these 19 or 2008 Warner Brothers DVDs. It will rot. No, you can keep it in certain conditions. In order for it to rot, it has to be certain conditions for it to rot. So if
Oh,
you
okay.
keep it cool, you keep it out of sunlight, you're
Okay.
fine. But still, and sometimes it will just happen. Sometimes no matter how you keep it, it will just happen. It's the nature of the beast. The early CDs are more prone to it because it's earlier technology. Blu-rays, on the other hand, are pretty damn safe. Like it's fine. Like this isn't all the Blu-rays. Only the DVD versions
Yeah.
of these, and most of these in 2008, you probably bought the Blu-ray over anyway.
Yeah. So hopefully maybe that's another good thing for Nintendo sticking with cartridges recently. Maybe that's going to be safer in the long run. I don't know.
Someone said like the because it's flash RAM, it can only last for so many years
Mm.
before it wipes. I don't know the truth of that. I don't know the length of it. I mean, eventually, maybe 100 years from now, it won't work anymore. Fine, we're all dead anyways. But it's one of those things where there's so many different prints, and you know what? Things are made to last way more than they used to.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
buy with confidence. I guarantee you the physical will last longer than the games on the eShop, because there's a lot of games that have already been removed from the eShop that you can only get physical right now. A lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking that Lego Mario Kart, I really want it, but for like, was it $170, something like that? I'm like, yeah, I'm with you, Barry. That's it. That's a little expensive but it looks cool. I kind of want it. I may end up just getting the cheaper version that they already put out, that I took a picture of in Walmart the other day, that threw me off. I'm like, wait, I didn't know this was announced already, or it didn't released already. It was only announced. Now it's the cheap version. It's like $30. So
Is it an
if you
official?
yeah, it's the one they've started making some in the Super Mario line. So this is this one, that the Lego Mario Kart they just showed off this week, is the adult Lego for adult version. That's like the nicer, ones. The other one that's already out, they've got Mario, I think Luigi, and a couple other carts as well. But they're all in the Super Mario line. Yeah. So it's two completely different takes on it. But yeah, I think the only last thing I have to mention about all this headlines is no one enter the Super Nintendo World contests. That way I have a better chance of winning. That's all I got to say about that. We have a game to give away.
Two of
Tap
them,
Wizard
actually.
2. We have 2 codes for the same game to give away. And Barry, tell us a little bit about this giveaway and how we got these codes and all that stuff before we actually pick some names.
Sure. So Ultimate Games was nice enough to not only send us codes to review, which you can check our game chat for Tap Wizard 2. It is right now live on our YouTube. So after we watch this, you'll watch that. But they were kind enough to provide 2 additional codes for us to give away to you wonderful people. So we put up a post on Twitter. It was up for, I think, a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked you, very simple, retweet, follow us, and to go ahead and show us your favorite wizard. The game is $15. You can see it on the screen now. $15 digital. We all had a lot of fun with it. It is definitely uh, a game where you could spend a lot of time uh, or a little amount of time playing, depending on how your play style. But if you like Vampire Survivors, and that style of games, you'll probably really enjoy this. So what we did is we took the people who entered, and Steve put them in a wheel, and we're gonna spin that wheel live on here. There's the wheel right there, and we're gonna do it twice. So if the same name comes up twice, they can't win it twice. They do not get the code again. So there's 2 different people who are gonna get the codes. We have the codes, and if you are one of the winners, you need to send us an email at podcast@nintendofuse.com to let us know that it's you, your Twitter handle, all that stuff. We'll get you the code. If no one does it, or if one of them doesn't happen, by a couple days, we will spin the wheel again and we will give another person a shot. We want to give these codes to you. We want you to have some fun. So, Steve, you want to roll that wheel?
Here we go.
There it
As we're
is,
coming up
spinning
with
the wheel.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, is it going to be green? Looks like green.
Is
Contestant number 3.
nice.
So contestant number 3 on Twitter, you are the first winner. So please go ahead and send us an email,
I guess they
podcast at
probably could
Nintendo.
just direct messages from Twitter as well.
Yes,
That's fine too.
yes, direct message from Twitter as well. Absolutely. So you
As
can
I
do that
wrote down
too.
the directions, I didn't even think that they could just direct messages. So yeah, we can do that as well. So
All right. Well, we got one more
congratulations.
code. Congratulations.
You didn't hit
Watch
the
me
remove
contestant number 3.
instance, but oh well.
It doesn't matter. All right. Looks like Felipe S625082254. What a numberful. Congratulations. So same thing, send a message through DM or email, podcast@nintendofuse.com. And if either of you wind up, or you don't wind up doing that, we will spin it again and hopefully, someone else claims it. But thank you very
Nice.
much to Ultimate Games for providing us the codes.
Yeah. I will say that I even though when I first played this game, I was confused by it and I wasn't sure about it. My opinion has continued to increase with more time, and it helps especially to understand what this game is all about. Like, because I had no clue and I didn't like it, but now that I understand it, I'm like, okay. So it's a very it's an action based interactive screensaver is how I like to view it now.
Yeah, definitely share those same sentiments because I had logged in around the same time that you were testing it just to not be the one to fall behind. But you pretty much don't fall behind ever because the game is just still playing when the game's not open. So
Yeah,
very easy to make more progress even if you're not
I,
actively in the game.
I haven't booted up in a while, but I'm sure I could go to another era by this point.
you might be able to. It's so yeah. There's been a few times where I've now that I understand it, yeah, I still don't know if it's really my thing, but I'm playing it a lot more than I thought I would now that I understand what it's all about. For sure. Let's move into our main discussion for this episode, and we're going to be talking about two different presentations. The first, the big one, is the Pokemon Day Presents presentation that happened on February 27th. Lots of information from Pokemon Day. We're going to run through that. If you are watching the video version, you can see us kind of scrolling through all the announcements on the screen. And we're just going to chat about all these different announcements. A lot of people had some mixed reviews. I think they were expecting some really, really big stuff. I had some pretty, normal expectations for this presentation. I didn't really expect a lot of big things, but some people were definitely upset. Let's start off with the Pokemon Legend ZA information. We had a new trailer for the game, and they showed off more of Lumois. I can't pronounce this city. That's what my problem is. Lumois, I think is how it's pronounced. And their first partner Pokemon, and kind of got to see a little bit more of the city itself. This is a urban redevelopment plan is underway to kind of shape this area to a place that belongs with both Pokemon and people living together in harmony. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, and all these things happen in Pokemon Legends ZA. Greg, anything stand out to you from what we saw in this trailer?
It does seem like it's interesting that I might want to be checking it out. I missed the Legends Arceus, but this one does seem like it's a little bit more in tune, like closer to the other like main like series. So I may be perhaps checking this out when it comes out later this year. I'll just have to kind of see what other kind of games are coming out around that same time. But like the starter Pokemon did look pretty cute, and I feel like I'm always like a fire starter one, like as from pretty much the ones I've been following since Sword and Shield, and even the ones I've heard from before. That like I would probably would have picked like whatever Charmander and stuff too. So I don't know, like the fire one that looked the best to me this time around. I didn't know what you thought, Barry.
So I absolutely adore Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think if you haven't played it now, you should honestly go back and play it. It is so good for what it does. It's not the best looking game, but it doesn't matter. It's fun. It is so much fun. And one of the cool things is that you no longer have to battle Pokemon to catch. You can sneak up behind them and you can just catch them. You could spook them, catch them. It was great. But when you got into a battle, and they would attack you too. Like the Pokemon would just attack you, the player, and can knock you out. So you had to run. But when you got into a battle, it stopped, and it was now you could walk around it, but it was a static, it's traditional battle. This game takes that to a whole new level because now the battles are not static. So the Pokemon are moving, and that's cool because you can miss. Their Pokemon can move before your attack goes off, and your attack where they were previously standing. Just like the anime, what we saw back in the day, I was like, why isn't it like that? Now quick attack is actually a quick attack, and it by getting that jump, can actually mean a thing or two. And meanwhile, you're still moving around, so now you've got to dodge attacks as well. So if a Charizard decides to do fire blast, you have to move out of the way, and your Pokemon has to move out of the way, which is kind of cool. It just makes them a little more dynamic. So I really like that. I know some people didn't like. So RCS used open areas. You had a town hub, and then you when you left it, you got a menu, and it was like, which of these biomes kind of do you want to go into? And it was like an open area. It was a marsh, and there was a ice area and a grass area, and it was an open world because you had this big open area to play around in and have fun. And then when you left, you either went to another biome or you went back to the town. It's all in the city. You never leave the city, and it's like the city is like gated off into little areas or those open zones. And I think that could be a lot of fun as long as it continues to be an evolution. So I'm excited for it because I loved Arceus, and I love that they're doing different things with the Legend series versus the mainline games. Um, so I have high hopes for it. I hope it does not let me down. The starters are interesting because two of them are Gen 2, And then because Cyndaquil was part of Legends Arceus, they're like, oh, we're gonna bring T-Pig in here. He's like, oh, like it's almost like there's been like this running joke of like T-Pig wearing like a sign, like I'm really part of Gen 2. What they did interestingly with Arceus is because it was set in the past, it was starters from 3 different gens, but they were different types. So even Cyndaquil over there was a new type. It was like Fire Ghost before Skelreg came about. And I thought that was cool. So these seem like the regular types. It doesn't it
Yeah.
that almost feels like a step backwards. Like
Hmm.
give us the new types again. That was cool. But I'm interested to see what they do. But yeah, if you're even remotely interested in this, play Arceus. Do not sleep on that game. It is still so much fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited about this, and I love seeing evolution, and especially in the battles, because that's fun. Like I don't mind the old school like turn based sort of thing, but it's fun to now let's experiment with what how else we can do these battles, and being able to move around in 3D spaces is just fun.
Honestly, catching Pokemon in all the other games feels like more of a chore
Yeah.
because you have to initiate the battle, weaken it down, catch it. And Legends Arceus, it was literally just hitting them with balls.
Yeah.
You would just get an outbreak and you would just throw balls like this, bam, 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 and you would just catch a bunch of them. And it was fantastic because it was like, this is great. It just made it like streamlined everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from Pokemon Legends ZA, we also got some information about Pokemon Champions. It's a new title that brings everything you love about Pokemon battles into one place. It's going to feature new takes on familiar mechanics, allowing rich, varied strategies and new experiences fans new for new and experienced fans alike. So you're going to be able to bring in your Pokemon from Pokemon Home, from all these different titles, bring them into Pokemon Home, and then bring them into Champions and play in some cross-platform battles on both Nintendo Switch and mobile devices. So we're bringing back some Coliseum, some I forget all the other different. There was like 2 or 3 different
Battle Revolution,
Battle
Stadium.
Revolution stadiums. Yeah, all those kind of different games. Kind of seems like in that vein. We've getting this new Pokemon battle game. Barry, what are your thoughts?
For me, the most interesting thing was when Legends ZA was talked about, it was specifically said Switch. And with this one, not only did it say mobile, but it said Switch family of systems. It didn't say just Switch. It specifically said Switch family of systems, which is pretty much just say Switch and Switch 2. Just say it's going to be on the
We know
Switch
what the
2.
code means, Nintendo.
But I just thought that was an
Yeah.
interesting terminology to use. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to be a download game, probably free to play or cheap. It depends on how much is in it. If there's a lot of content, there'll probably be a price. If it's literally just used as a way for people to battle, it'll probably be free. Since it's mobile, who knows? It'll probably be like cosmetics or optional things you could get that cost extra money. But I mean, will I play it? Potential. Do I think it's exciting for Pokemon fans that really love the battle and are super competitive? I would think so. I know people have been clamoring for another stadium, so I hope this scratches that itch.
Yeah. Greg, I know Pokemon is it's a fairly new thing for you. You've not been into it, for all these years. But a game like Pokemon Champions, does that kind of excite you?
Yeah, 'cause I mean, it allows you to use the Pokemon from all like at least the variety of Switch games. I know there's like the huge controversy with like all the 3DS ones not carrying over into Pokemon Home, like the previous app was on 3DS. I should reference like the Virtual Console versions of the really old games. So I do know there'll be people that can't use like, the oldest version of those, but I think anyone that's more of like the modern fan would absolutely love like to be able to battle like between different like the different Pokemons just from Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet and other ones that you may have collected that did successfully transfer over to home. So that's pretty great for people to be able to try to do some different battles and see what else you can do on there. So might be something I check out and don't have to continue to load up like Sword and Shield to play with my daughter when she wants to do a few random battles here and there.
That's true. Yeah, for quick battles, this could be really fun, and being able to play it on Switch and mobile could be a good idea as well. Let's move on to the next section of news, and that's about Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. The Pokemon Day celebration kicked off with some in-game events. Mystery gift password revealed in Pokemon Presents. You can put that in for a Rotom phone, a special case for your Rotom phone, and then also they had mass outbreaks of red, green, blue colored Pokemon with an increased likelihood of encountering shiny Pokemon. For the next few weeks, we'll see a series of Terra Raid battles against mighty several Pokemon that I can't pronounce, and you can get your teams ready to take on those powerful Pokemon. Greg is I forget. Did you get Scarlet and Violet or Scarlet or Violet?
Yeah, I did get both of them, but there just haven't been a priority because my daughter more transitioned over to Roblox around like before like the games came out, so I thought it would still be kind of exciting to get them, but obviously with all the controversy of like the different issues with like the game not being able to run very clear and stuff, I haven't had the idea to try to see how bad it really was. So haven't I don't think I'll be logging in time to collect some of these, but I can bet that Barry probably will. I know he likes to collect just about everything in these types of games.
He collects in person and digital rewards. Nice. Yeah, Barry, I know you booted this up, right?
Yeah, I did the first two raids, so it's just the last one this weekend. The nice thing about these terror raids, when they do these 7-star terror raids, is it's a guaranteed catch. Well, all the raids are guaranteed catch, but these Pokemon are perfect. Like they're perfect. They have a Mightiest Mark, so you're getting them at level 100, the best IV. Like you're getting the creme de la creme version of these Pokemon, which is really cool.
Nice. Nice. I like getting these later in the game, like after it's been out for a while, and then I put them in my rotation, and then I just breeze through the game because everything's level
You won't.
100.
You can't do that with these, unfortunately. You got to earn it.
Oh,
These are
bummer.
not easy. These are
Yeah.
hard fights.
I like
You
the
got to fight
original one,
these.
like the ones that when they started doing all this. That was nice.
The
Like back
codes.
in, yeah, getting the codes and just getting the powerful Pokemon. It made the game so much easier. So I would like hold back and not progress on purpose and wait for some codes for some powerful Pokemon.
They would never obey you then.
Well, moving on to Pokemon trading card game Pocket. Barry and I play this game quite a bit, as we talked about earlier. And we got the new themed booster pack from Triumphant Light. It arrived on February 28th. And there was also, there's been some in-game events. There was a Genetic Apex expansion with booster packs that guaranteed to have at least one card of 4 diamond rarity or higher. And there's also some special missions that you can complete to earn rewards. And if you're ready to get serious and show off your battle skills, we're going to have ranked matches arriving at the end of March as well. So, yeah, Barry, what's your thoughts on Triumphant Light, other than not having good luck so far?
Yeah, it's a good set. It's an interesting set where it's based around RCS EX. I just had terrible luck with the polls. They also have the Gibble solo battle event going on right now. There's the Snorlax, Manaphy Wonder Pick event going on, and then there's the 5-streak battle event emblem going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the game. I love that it's alive and that they're constantly, adding to it, and that each of these sets changes up like the meta, and it also makes older cards more relevant. It'll be like, oh, this is a great partner for this older card, and now they work together really well.
Yeah. We're also getting mega evolutions at some point in the future as well, just as I think sometime in 2025. So are you excited for mega evolutions to come to the trading card game?
Yeah, as long as they're not like when they get KO'd, it's 3 points.
Oh,
Then Then I have to keep them for the end. They're your Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's true. Greg, have you checked out the Pokemon TCG Pocket yet?
It's streamlined.
Not yet. I've been kind of debating to after like listen to you guys talk about it a lot at the games been playing. So I've kind of thought about looking into it, and so it might be something I check out here. Hopefully, possibly sometime soon, but we'll have to
You should.
see.
You should.
It's
It's free.
free and it's
Oh
easy
wait,
to get into.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
free.
trying to say it's difficult or anything, or if
Yeah.
it costs like $1,000 or anything ridiculous like that. But yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
those like free to play things. Like it's easy to play for free, and then it's like, oh, if you really want the edge,
No,
you
it's
gotta
easy to
give
play
us
for free.
I've spent
slap us a 10
$0 on
here,
it.
and
No problem at all.
I pay $10 a month for the pass because I play it enough to I want the extra pack a day. But that's just it. You don't have to do that.
Mhm. Yep. I feel like I don't feel like I'm missing out at all not spending any money on it.
They give you so many hourglasses for free.
Mhm. Yep. So, yeah, check it out, and it's getting even better, and they're adding more to it. I feel like it's hard to keep up. That's the big thing. It's because they just keep
They're
adding
adding
more
it
and
at a
more. I'm like,
quick,
"I'm not done
like
with this last series. Why are you adding more?"
the pace they're adding cards is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So there could be a lot to catch up on there, Greg. So, get on it.
how often are they adding cards then? Is it like every day,
Um,
every week, or 2 days?
no, every I think it was what 2 months after a base set gets the mini set, and then a month or so after the mini set gets the next major set.
Yeah.
So there's two major sets right now, and this is a mini set. There's two mini sets.
Yeah.
So the major sets are like 265 cards or something like that,
Something like
and the
that.
mini sets are like 75 cards.
Hmm. Yeah. I've only completed one mini
Yeah, same,
set so
only
far.
one.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot to do, but and then yeah, you basically get normally you get is it
Two
one
free
pack
packs a day.
every 12 hours
12,
essentially.
yeah. You get
So
10 free cards a day,
yeah, and
plus
you
Wonder
can
Picks.
plus your wonder picks, and you can earn additional hourglasses that help you get more picks every day as well. So yeah,
Plus events like promo events where you can get
yeah,
promo cards, and you just get that just by playing.
they're just handing stuff out like crazy.
Oh, it's it's streamlined, so it's not like it's there's 100 mechanics. It's like no,
Yeah,
they've dumbed it down to be
it's
really, really simple.
so great. Yeah. It's got me to the point where like this is totally we were going off on rails here about Pokemon trading card game, but it's have you played, I forget what it's called. There's a new-ish Disney trading card game. It's like Lumen
I know of it, but I haven't
something like
played it.
that. I found it in Target the other day, and it got me to buy the starter pack for it because I have some other friends that are into it, and I never bought like actually got into any Pokemon games because I didn't want to get that far into it. But I bought this game largely because I am now not turned off by the Pokemon trading card game because of the mobile version. So
Just know
it
the
is
computer is an
doing
idiot.
its job to open my mind up to all the other experiences.
All right, Barry, let's get him to start playing some Magic the Gathering.
Oh
That
man,
that
Magic.
sounds like a lot.
Oh, Magic is really more difficult.
All right, moving on. Pokemon Pokemon Day also give us some Pokemon concierge information. Uh the stop motion animated Netflix series has been actually nominated for multiple awards, and the second season is currently in production, and it's going to be coming out September 2025. And in the meantime, they have the first 4 episodes of the series that are now available to watch on the Pokemon YouTube channel. So you don't have to necessarily have a Netflix to watch the first 4 episodes. But we got a little sneak peek of Haru and Psyduck at the tropical Pokemon resort. But yeah, that's coming in September 2025. Greg, did you watch the first season?
I did not know. I know my daughter got into that other series with like Ash or whatever, kind of re-going through a lot of the games, including like Sword and Shield and whatever. But we didn't check out this concierge yet, so it might be something that gets added to the list to hopefully try to catch up on and catch the episodes while they're still there on YouTube.
Nice. Barry, have you been watching?
Oh yeah, my wife and I love Pokemon Concierge. It's only 4 episodes. It's like
Oh,
super
that's the
short.
only 4 episodes that are on YouTube now too then.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
There's only 4 episodes to the season. So we're really excited for a second season. It's adorable. It's cute. It's stop motion animation. It's charming. It's a quick watch too. It's one where you just like you start it and you're like, all right, let me see what it's like, and suddenly you realize you're at the end of episode 4 and you want more, and that's it. So
nice.
definitely worth checking out.
Cool. I think it's adorable for sure. And now that's on YouTube, I can watch it because I only sign up for Netflix, when like Stranger Things comes out or Cobra Kai. So
Honestly, you should check it out because it's a quick watch, and I think you'll have fun with it.
cool. Second season in September 2025. Moving on, we got information for Pokemon Go and the Pokemon Go Tour Unova global events kicked off on March 1st with the legendary Pokemon Black. Yeah, again, more Pokemon that I cannot pronounce. Kyurem. And you know what? My iPad that's sitting in front of me is for some reason thought I said Siri when I said that butchering name of that Pokemon. So it's like lighting up. Not talking to you, iPad. But anyway, they're going to be appearing in raid battles and elsewhere. You also have a chance to encounter Vistini and Shiny Meloetta. And a new season begins in game on March 4th. Began now, and it featured the arrival of Kubfu and Urshifu, and also they have promo codes during the Pokemon Presents event that grants a chance to encounter a Pokemon of your choice from a selection as well. Barry, you playing Pokemon Go anymore?
No, I'm thankfully out of that
These,
game. The inventory management was the thing
yeah,
that killed me.
yeah, and even these events not gonna bring you back, huh?
Well, no, because my Pokemon inventory is full. I don't know which Pokemon to get rid of
That's
because I was a very much big into IVs and checking, renaming them like
mm-mm.
Pikachu 90, Pikachu, Snorlax 89 or whatever, and I'm not paying money because I'm out of currency. I'm not paying money to store more Pokemon just for me to fill it up in 5 minutes. No, I got enough games I'm playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm totally with you. Like I booted up when I travel, just to see what I catch or what's around there. But I'm in the same way. I have to manage so many things, and I'm like I can't. I'm I'm running out of space, and yeah, it's not that exciting. So give me unlimited space. That's what you can
Yeah,
update
then I
next
would
time,
play it.
Pokemon.
Then I would play it.
Yep. Greg, when was the last time you booted up Pokemon Go?
It was easily since been before COVID. Haven't really thought about it a whole lot, so it's certainly not gonna really pull me back in or anything. It just that was, I think, one of the things that really got me even with like Fire Emblem Heroes is just like all this extra inventory management type stuff, and it just like, well, you want more stuff? Well, give us more money, and you can get here's a few more slots, and you can like it's like, well, why? Like this is you shouldn't need to pay extra like real money just to expand inventory slots. Like this is kind of silly,
Yep.
but
Yep. That can be your next update, Pokemon. Next Pokemon Day, or hopefully earlier than that. Moving on, we got some information about Pokemon Masters EX. 2 new Master Sync pairs were revealed. The May Champion and Shiny Primal Kyogre and Brendan Champion as Shiny Primal Groudon. It's also the game's 5.5. So I'm guessing 5.5 year celebration. And players can log in to receive a present of 3,000 gems. So yeah, I have never played Pokemon Masters EX. Greg, have you checked out this game?
Nope, I have not. So I'm not quite sure if this will be a way to enter it in, but most likely not. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about like the EX, but probably not something that is easy just to dive in this late in the game either.
Yeah. Barry, are you a fan of EX or Masters EX?
I booted it up, and when it launched, I played it a little at launch. It was alright, but it very quickly became too wall. Like you hit a
Hmm.
wall, like grind, pay. No. So yeah, outside of the first week or two, maybe that it existed, I didn't play it. So this isn't gonna bring me back. For those that play, I'm happy. I want there to be more content, but it's not for me.
Yeah. Yep. Same as well. Moving on, a game I know Barry plays and I occasionally play is Pokemon Unite. 3 Pokemon will soon be joining the fray of Pokemon Unite. Be on the lookout for 3 Pokemon that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Actually, no, I think I got this one. Now I psyched myself out. I'm gonna stop right there because it's gonna take like 30 seconds for me to just pronounce them correctly. But anyhow, you're gonna be able to battle in the memorable Remoat Stadium, and it's been returned to the game for a limited time. You can take part in a new type of Unite battle, first to 500. And then there's also going to be a new feature, AOS technology, which grants players special effects each time they score a certain number of points. There was also a free gift code. Surprise, surprise! In all these games, we keep getting more codes to redeem different things, and this one was for a platinum Suicune blue boost emblem. So yeah, Barry, did you boot up Pokemon Unite and get all your stuff?
Oh yeah, putting the codes, and I'm working on it for Suicune now. There's an event going on, so I just like the game. It's just fun. It's easy at this point. I've got everything unlocked pretty much outside of all like the glamour because the screw buying glamour, but I got the free glamour. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I just play it. It's mindless. I play mainly against the CPU. I did have an interesting experience though
Hmm.
in the game. That so there's a CPU mode where you just play against the CPU. Now, when you do that, there's missions and stuff to do for this, so there's a reason to do it. When you boot up and you have your Pokemon and you pick whatever Pokemon you want, and then the uh, the computer, your teammates, your computer teammates will pick their Pokemon. Well, I needed to pick Cinderace, so I was scrolling through Cinderace, and while I'm doing it, the computers all picked their Pokemon, including Cinderace. They took Cinderace from me. I'm like, these are the computers. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
And in Pokemon Unite, when you start a match, once you commit to a match, you can't quit.
Yeah.
You get penalized if you quit. To encourage you from not quitting on other people and rage quitting. But when it's all CPU, you can't even quit the match.
Yeah.
Like you get penalized for quitting against the computer, and
That's
that's
dumb.
stupid.
Yeah.
And now I had to play through this match where I couldn't do the objective I needed to do because the computer took the Pokemon I needed. Only happened the one time in all my years of playing this game now. It's never happened, and I'm just like dumbfounded. Like I wanted to take my shoe and throw it at the TV, but I didn't want to break it again. But I'm like,
Right.
what the hell? I was ready to get on Twitter and find like Tencent or whatever and be like, customer support, fix this bullshit right now and let me quit.
Yeah.
Quitters
Greg,
never
have you?
prosper, I thought though.
I mean, quit a match, like
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
it's like
I
booting up a Smash Brothers match, and you're like, oh, well,
Right.
I really would rather play Captain Falcon. Oh no, you're committed. You're playing against the CPU. You've got to play.
Right. Yeah, I get
It's
the whole
stupid.
like penalized for playing against other players, but playing against
Yeah,
the computer, that's
yeah,
dumb.
that's dumb. Yeah, it's dumb.
Oh. Greg, have you
Yeah, there's
been
no.
playing Pokemon Unite at all?
No, I haven't really touched it since the first like few months of the game. So I kind of got phased out because it just seemed like it was way too much either like pay to win or just like a lot of this like nonsense of players not really playing well and then just dropping, and like then your team just gets
Yeah.
owned, and like it just seemed like it was just like
That's not
a
the case anymore.
I'm sure they fixed it, but I don't really have a desire to get back into it though. That's the main
No,
thing,
it's
because that
mostly
killed my
bots.
interest.
Like you play more of my games, even when it's like supposedly with other people, it's just bots, and you could tell. And bots are great because they're idiots. Like you could just destroy bots. You
Yeah.
could
So is
decimate bots.
do you think that the player base is going down then?
I don't think the player base is necessarily going down. I mean, obviously it's down from launch, like most games, but I don't play ranked. So I play like the quick matches and the more
Yep.
casual stuff. And I think the more hardcore are sticking in ranked. So that's why I get a lot of bots because I'm doing events or doing modes that other people don't want to do, which is fine. I don't care. I don't like ranked. And my big thing with ranked is I don't like to lose rank
Yep.
because of my team.
Yep.
So when I get paired with people who are just absolutely terrible and I'm the MVP and then I lose rank because I got paired with someone who is using a half-eaten apple and that's their only item and it's level 1, getting decimated by somebody who's got 300 hours into the game on the opposing team, it's like that's not really fair to me. That's like me getting penalized as a baseball player as professional, but my whole entire team is little leaguers or T-ballers, and I'm playing against a professional team. Of course, I'm going to get my ass kicked. That's not fair. That's not fun for me. It's fun for you beating up on the little kids, maybe, but it's not fun for me. So that's why I don't do ranked.
You're
And there's
basically
rank
just
protection cards.
describing my time with Rocket League.
Yeah, it's
Same
so
thing.
annoying. That's why
Yeah.
I hate ranked systems. I think
Yeah.
if you're gonna do some kind of ranked, either A, you don't lose rank, or B, make caveats for you not to get penalized. If you're the MVP of the losing team, you're protected. You worked your ass off. You shouldn't get penalized for being the best on the losing team.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've lost where I was the best player overall. Like I had the best stats, most kills, most assists, most scores, and my team just sucked. And it's like, and I'm the one who loses rank, and that player there that did nothing on the opposing team that just got lucky that scored
Mm-hmm.
30 points goes up in rank. That's not fair to me. I'm
No.
sorry, it's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I kind of don't play Mario Kart online a lot, because like I don't like all this not like ranked nonsense, and like I already
Yeah.
know I'm like a good player. I don't need to see that just because I have a bad like one match or whatever that I lose
Yeah.
significant points.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
get hit by a blue shell and a lightning bolt and
Right.
you lose points because of that. It's like that's not anything to do with skill. That's
No.
just shitty luck.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I ended my Mario Kart DS days, because it was like all the people just snaking and everything. I was just like, I won like 2 matches, and I was like, this is the most points I've ever gonna have. I'm retiring while I'm up top right here. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I did with Wordle. I got my first Wordle and beat it in 2 rounds. I retired on top. Haven't played a game since.
Aw, I still play Wordle.
Well, let's
But
move
I
on.
mean, you got
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Let's move on. We've probably talked about Pokemon Unite too much. We'll end here with well, not end, but moving this section with Pokemon Sleep, and the basically just a small update that I know Jakester is going to be excited about because he plays Sleeps. I don't know how to classify this app, but in Pokemon Sleep, you can now shake off the nightmares in Pokemon Sleep when Cresselia and Darkrai clash in an upcoming event, so you can shake off your nightmares. Greg, have you even booted up Pokemon Sleep at all?
no, not at all. It hasn't really interested me to dive in and get
And
as deep as Jakester's with his deep
yeah,
sleep with Pokemon. So
and this new event not gonna get you to boot up.
most likely not. No.
Barry, any progress over there? Pokemon Sleep. That's going to make any encouragement to boot it up?
Not right now, no, but I mean, it's one of those things where this is the type of thing where if I join at the start, I
Mm-hmm.
might keep going. But
Mm-hmm.
joining now, I feel like I'm so
Yeah.
past it. I don't need it.
Yep.
I don't need it. The hype's gone.
Well, then we got some Pokemon Cafe remix information. As Barry talked about earlier, he already booted it up. But we got some sweet surprises that was served up in the game, like new menu items, like an Appleton Fruitalicious Jelly Soda. Also, there was a special event in the game that you can either get a Frapple or an Appleton to join your staff, and some Pokemon that I can't pronounce will gradually be available in special outfit packs if you want to add a Paldean flavor to your cafe. Plus, if you log into the game right then, at that point, Pikachu and its sweet outfit will join your staff as well. You had 3 days to join to also get Eevee and its sweet outfits to join you in the game. So, Barry, did you enjoy your time in Pokemon Cafe Remix other than being forced to play in handheld mode?
I mean, I didn't get this stuff. I missed it, but I went through the tutorials and stuff. It's a fun little game. It kind of reminded me of a much simpler Pokemon Shuffle, and I was huge into Shuffle. I loved Shuffle. My 3DS XL, still to this day, the screen protector has permanent marks and slides in
Yeah.
them from me playing Shuffle so much using the stylus. I love that game. This feels like it's like instead of match 3, it's like a bunch of different Pokemon heads, and you put your finger and you spin it around to collect as many as you can Katamari, and then you let go and they'll go pop, and then more pop down. And I'm like, that's the game. And I'm like, I could see how this could be fun, but this is so simple,
Yeah.
and I'm done.
Yeah. I think I looked at the original trailer and I thought, nope, not for me. Greg, have you even booted up Cafe Remix?
Yeah, I was pretty much in the same boat as you, Steve. It was just like, this doesn't seem like it's the Pokemon game for me either. So it was pretty much like, nope.
Yep. Well, excited for all those of you that played it, but yeah, not really for us. And then we found out that at the end here, we're going to get Pokemon series games available in some different languages. So they're going to be localized into Latin American Spanish, giving even more fans the opportunity to enjoy the wonderful world of Pokemon. So glad that our Latin American friends are getting their language in Pokemon. Um, I don't know if there's much to say about that. Greg, any thoughts about Latin American English? Or sorry, Latin American Spanish coming?
That'd be pretty cool. Latin
Wow.
American English too. So
Well,
Canceled.
maybe they will also. That's down the line.
maybe Latin American French too for Brazil, but
Okay.
no. I mean, obviously, whenever you extend like more, like on a serious note, when you extend like more language availability, it's always usually a win. So, like, obviously, they did like their research and noticed like a significant number of players are like would prefer that language to be more suitable to like what they obviously learn at home and their schools and everything there too. So, more power to it to have more people enjoy the world of Pokemon. So, definitely all
Yeah.
forward when they add more localization settings and stuff. It's usually always a win to get more people to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. And being in different Latin American countries and stuff, it's there's definitely a variation of Spanish there. So it's cool to have their own language. Barry, any thoughts about this?
No, I think it's great. I mean, the more people that can experience and have fun, then that's great. We really need games right now. We really need fun right now. So let everybody get in on it and enjoy it. I mean, if someone's honestly angry about this, then that's like the worst kind of person. Like, how dare more people get to enjoy the fun that I'm
How
having?
dare you? How dare you have a video game in your language? Well, that's the end of the Pokemon Presents Pokemon Day celebration. And we got quite a bit of information. I know, again, a lot of people were kind of disappointed, but that's the internet. They're always going to be disappointed. Uh, and but we got some decent stuff. I wasn't surprised that we didn't get any official announcements for a Switch 2 game, although we kind of got a backhanded kind of announcement for a Switch 2 game, but maybe in the Nintendo Switch family of systems. Uh, but yeah, I think it'd be exciting when we eventually get um, the next Pokemon series on Switch too, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime this year. But some cool stuff that's happening for Pokemon. But also we had another event that happened just a couple of days ago on March 6th. I'm not sure who's going to be presenting this one, talking through the announcements. We chatted, but I don't know if we actually landed on who's going to be doing this. So Barry or
I
Greg,
can do
take
it.
it away.
I like that. Barry or Greg. That's the new fourth member, Barry or Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was almost gonna say Barry should with anyone that's watching the video version has seen me drop a few times. I would hate to be in the middle of
Yeah,
discussing something
that's
and
fun.
then like you guys have to like kind of guess where I like was gonna go from there. So
So Tesura Games did a Connect presentation, and they do a lot of physical publishers. I think they do digital publishing as well, but they do a lot of physicals over in Europe. And what's really cool is they wind up pulling in a lot of games that don't normally get the physical treatment. And sometimes seeing these games, it's like, oh, I didn't know this existed. As a collector, I love it. I love to see more of these type of publishers get out there and bring the games physical. And for those of you that might have missed it, maybe your next favorite game is here. So they do all systems. So PS5 exclusive. I'll just run through them quickly. Inheritance of Crimson Manor, or Umurangi. That's one for Steve.
Yeah.
Amber Alert, Codex Lost, Oxide Room 208, 9 Years of Shadow, 9 Years of Shadows. And then for PS5 and Switch, so both systems are going to get Spirit Mancer, which is an adventure platformer deck building game that's available right now. Kimono Heroes, which is a run and gun game. That was an old digital game. I think it was like threatened to be delisted, but that's coming March 2025. Third Eye Open, Lisa Definitive Edition, which is an RPG that's in collaboration with Serenity Forge. Slay the Princess, which is a narrative adventure. Sword of the Necromancer, which is getting a re-release. That was a Kickstarter way back in the day.
Yeah.
Teslagrad 2 and Teslagrad Remastered. So if you ever played Teslagrad, they made the sequel and then they remastered the original game, which is different than the first game. So that's kind of cool that these are getting the physical treatment. Pampas and Selene, Rebel Transmute, Arcadian Atlas, Long Gone Days, and Keylocker, which was I think recently in a presentation as well. And then Switch exclusive Grimoire Groves, which is coming this year. Fading Afternoon Uncensored, which is a beat 'em up with guns. So a lot was shown off, a lot of different games. All their editions come with special bonuses. They give each game like the full on treatment, and it's just nice to see more games getting that physical treatment. And a lot of these games, like Kimono Heroes, had the threat of being delisted. Maybe it was delisted. I don't know. I have it. I got a code back in the day, but it's nice to see it getting preserved. Just talked about like the Super Soccer getting removed and all this stuff. Anytime we get these games preserved, it's a good thing.
Nice. Nice. Greg, what of these games stood out to you? What excites you about getting these physical releases?
well, I mean, I'll have to see if the price is right for the physical editions for me to want to go through some of those, but it might be one of those cases where like, hey, the game looks really great. I'll just look at getting like the digital version like now. So I mean, it's gonna depend. Like if I think a lot of these were like shown from like with the Europe casing and stuff. So there
They
might
only
be
release Europe.
t-
They're a
yeah. So
European
that's
release.
yeah. So it could be like a nice shipping fee to have them send it over here. So
Nope,
not being like a
VGP. You can get them
okay.
VGP. Yeah.
All great information. Then yeah, I'll be for sure trying to check some of these out for sure. Then I wasn't quite sure at least with that kind of stuff, the unknowns beforehand, but Barry was able to get those all straightened out. The Fading Afternoon Uncensored seemed kind of interesting. It almost seems like a Double Dragon type game that also involved like with like guns and stuff. So that was kind of intriguing to me because I did really like the Double Dragon type games. Like you could see him like doing like the hair pull type moves, and you kind of like bend them over into like a crouched position, and like you're like hitting them and stuff, and then you're still able to kind of like through the little like toss kind of thing. It was very reminiscent of the very first Double Dragon game to me. The Tesla Grad, I did play that on Wii U, I think, or was it Wii? I don't know. I had the first one, and I did remember enjoying what I had played. It wasn't something that I played through completion, but that might be one that I do check out. I think I had missed when the second one came out, so that might also be a pretty good contender to get there too. And then I don't remember the other game that I quickly like watched through like when I was watching this presentation. It might be like the Lisa Definitive Edition or something with the RPG game. But yeah, those were the some of the main ones that at least stood out to me for potentially looking down the line later this year. So thankfully there won't be any major like shipping issues or anything. So I may go ahead and like try to order like a few of my favorite ones there.
Nice. Yeah, I think the things that what what a lot of these presentations do for me, like I think you guys mentioned this earlier too, but like it just brings some of these games back to my mind. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Tesla Grad. Oh yeah, I forgot about Slay the Princess. Like those kind of games. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So like Spirit Mancer, I can't remember if I remember if I'm sure I saw that game at some point, but it was almost like a brand new game to me again, seeing it. And same thing with Kimono Heroes. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That looks like a game I might enjoy. So it's kind of cool to not only get the physical releases, but also to kind of bring it back up and put it in front of people's faces, like my own. And I think Spirit Mancer for sure, like, is one of the games that stood out to me, mostly because similar to what Pokemon um trading card game has done, like the digital version has all of a sudden made me kind of open a little bit to trading card games in person. I've been playing some trading card or some deck builder games in person, and it's got me now to start thinking about like what should I play more deck builder video games as well. So it's kind of cool, and especially to have action and platforms kind of stuff built into it. It's like best of all the different worlds. So yeah, I think those games would be kind of fun. I don't know if I'm going to get the physical version from them, but I'm definitely going to be looking into some of these games in one way or the other because of the presentation. Barry, anything stand out to you?
Yeah, it was a lot of great games. I'm friends with Serenity Forge, so it was great to see them in here and showing off some games. Sort of the Necromancer, I kickstarted that, and when I played through the game, I didn't beat it. It didn't do a lot for me. It kind of disappointed me. But then they remade it. Like the whole thing's in like 3D now, and I'm like, all right, they've gone back, they've fixed some of the stuff. Like I really want to give it another shot. Like they really care about this game. There's a sequel as well. Komodo Heroes is one I played already, and it's fantastic. And it was always one that I was shocked that was stuck in digital. Like I always felt like that should have been a physical.
Hmm.
So it was great to see. Excuse me. Great to see that actually come out. Um, 9 Years of Shadow was fantastic. Just a lot of fun with that one. Tesla Grad again. I played just a little bit of the original, but it's like, well, now there's a remaster. Like maybe I should play the remaster version of it and try that out. There's just a lot of stuff, and like you mentioned, it's about bringing this stuff to the attention of others because there's so many games out there. And even if you're watching this and you go, yeah, I don't need physical. I'm not a physical collector. I'd rather just play digital, whatever. Look, you play however you want to play. You're still supporting these developers. You're still checking out these great games. And if you are a physical collector, now you have an option. And with sites like VGP, where they do all these imports, and if you spend 80 Canadian dollars, you get free shipping in the United States. And that's 80 Canadian. That's not even US dollars. So it's very easy to, hit that mark, and you can get a lot of games for cheap that way, and including these. So I think that's really accessible and more accessible because European minimums are lower, or 3,000 as opposed to the American 5,000. So it allows games like this that an American company may look at and go, we're not going to do 5,000 of this. And they say, well, we'll do 3,000. And now they get a physical. And with the Switch being region free, doesn't matter. You put it in your Switch and you just play in your American account. That doesn't, you don't need a European account to play these games. You can just play it in your American account. It just counts as a physical American game,
Mm-hmm.
as far as they're concerned.
Hopefully, the Switch 2 will also be region free.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think we have any
it will
reason
be.
to believe it won't be, but
I'm gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say it almost has to be if it's backwards compatible,
yeah,
But I guess we'll
Yeah.
know in another few weeks, like 3-4 weeks here.
it's true.
If it wasn't, that would be a big step
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah.
Because I think we're, especially with the internet, I mean, look, you can create a Japanese account on Switch,
Hmm.
then load into the Japanese store and download Japanese exclusive games on
Yep,
your Switch. You
it's
could
great.
do it with European exclusive, you could do it with Australian exclusive, even though you have an American Switch.
Hmm.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And that counts like the NSO. You can get like the Famicom NSO app and play a game that's only on there that we didn't get over here, and
Hmm.
that's fine. They're not stopping you. So I think that is a wonderful thing where it opens up, and especially when games, there are a lot of games that don't get released over here physically that wind up getting like an Asian release, and you could get a physically Asian and you can still enjoy it.
Hmm.
Capcom did like the beat 'em up collection. You can't get that physically, but in Japan there's a beltum was a belt collection or something, which is how they call it, the beat 'em ups. And when you put it in the Switch card, the cartridge in your system, it boots up and it's beat 'em up collection, and you can play the Japanese or the English versions of every game. It's just there,
It's
boom,
great.
done, and it's great. That opens things up for everybody.
Yep.
You know, you can just have fun. And sometimes other regions get updated cartridges. Like an American Arms cartridge, you can't get a complete on cartridge. But the MSE version, which is like the Singapore, you can get the Arms complete. Same with the Mario Kart with the booster pass.
Hmm.
It's MSE version. It's not an American version, but it's still ESRB. You can get the whole game with the booster pass on cartridge, and you could
Nice.
put it in your Switch and play it. So it's one of those things where um, it, opening up region free just allows more access. And I think if Nintendo says the Switch 2 is not, that's a shot in the foot. People
Yeah.
will say, "Oh, screw it, I'll stay with my Switch,"
Yeah.
because there's so many games out there.
Well, and you can. So I don't think they're going to do it, but yeah,
Oh, I don't think
it,
they will either.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Um,
main concerning thing is like I know the DS was region free, and then the 3DS they reversed that. So
right.
I wouldn't think they would do it given the popularity of the Switch being it's right up there with like the DS, but it just depends on who's making that call at the Nintendo HQ.
Yeah. Hopefully they learn the lesson. But you
Well,
can
the
check out.
PS5 is region free as well
Yeah.
as the Xbox. So
Yeah. You guys can check out Tesura Games on YouTube to watch that full Connect 2025. Again, that was streamed live on March, or premiered live on March 6th. If you're looking back in the history on their YouTube channel, and check out all those games, and maybe get some physical as well. Before we move into our last segment, just want to remind you guys to check us out on social media if you haven't done so, and also join us over on our Discord. Again, those links are going to be in the show notes and the YouTube description, but also on the video version if you're watching that. And if you have not subscribed to Nintendo Fuse on your favorite podcast app or here on YouTube, be sure to do that as well. Our next episode is going to be streaming live recording on March 25th of 2025, which is just 1 week or 2 weeks, sorry, ahead of the or week and a half, something like that, ahead of the switch to Nintendo Direct. So lots of fun stuff that we'll be talking about, kind of getting some of our predictions in before then. But there's also some other games that will be coming out over the next couple weeks. As you're watching the video version, we'll be streaming or scrolling those on the screen. Compliments of Metacritic, showing those different games that will be coming out over the next 2 weeks. A few games I wanted to draw attention to. One is March 13th. We're going to get it On Your Tail, which we've talked about on previous episodes. March 18th is MLB The Show. So if you're a Major League Baseball fan, you're probably excited for March 18th. It's still so weird to see a Sony baseball game coming over to Nintendo Switch, even though it's been like several years in a row now. Still weird to see that happen. March 20th, we're getting Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, which is exciting Barry, I'm sure, and all the other Xenoblade fans that are out there. I still want to play it on my Wii U, have it booted up, or not booted up, but in the system over there, and just haven't turned it on. But cool to see that one in the Definitive Edition on March 20th. And then on March 25th, we're all excited for Goat Simulator Remastered that's coming to the Nintendo Switch again on March 25th. So, Barry, what are you excited about playing over the next couple weeks?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be finishing Daybreak 2 is the plan, and then I'm going back to House of Fata Morgana, and then when I finish those, I'll be doing as many game chat games as I can fit in until March 20th, and then March 20th, it's all about Xenoblade. But what sucks is I got a little card here. On March 19th, I have jury duty.
Oh,
So,
no!
so I am hoping it gets canceled or they don't pick me because I will be so mad. So mad.
You take that Switch right in their jury room with you.
I am going to be the most racist, terrible person when I walk in there. I'm going to be like, hang them. I don't care what they did. Hang the bastard. Does their name have a vowel in it? They need to die. Like, all right, this guy, get him out of here. He's unhinged. He's unhinged. We don't want him on the jury. Thank you. Thank you. It's like it couldn't come at a worse time. You can't arrest you for things like that. Freedom of speech.
Kidding. They'll just suspend you,
but it's
or sustain you.
Good. I never want to do jury duty again. But it's like it couldn't come at a worse time. It's like the universe is like, oh, your TV broke. Oh, you got sick. Oh, let's throw jury duty on top of it.
That's great.
You get a nice little paycheck to buy the copy.
Oh yeah.
Of the game,
right? $5. What's funny is they make you watch this video. At least in Jersey, and I'm sure other states do this too, where it's like, here's what you do in jury duty, and here's all the things, and I've done it before. But there's one guy that's like, my friend said, they asked me, how do you get out of it? And I said, you shouldn't worry about that. It's an American right. You should feel proud. And the whole time I'm flipping off the camera. I'm just like, yeah, go to hell. Everybody's screaming at you right now. No one wants to do this. It's like a dreaded card. It's like, no, I've been selected again.
Yeah. No.
I mean, over the last 10 years, I know my dad was selected pretty much as soon as the time frame you served, you would get the notice in the mail to be serving again.
Oh, so that sucks.
He had that string for at least several times over the last decade, the decade he was eligible for. Now he's thankfully aged out, and the one judge even thanked him for all his years of service because he was so unlucky to get pulled so many times. So
shit.
And here I am waiting to a reason to get pulled from work to go sit on a nice jury trial, and Barry's good. How do I get out of it?
I think I got pulled in 2013, and so it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
So I got lucky with that, but it's
my first time was last year.
Oh, that was your first time? Did you have to sit in on the jury? Did you get picked?
No, I had one of the busiest weeks in my entire life was that week. And so in Colorado, they choose I think it's probably somewhat similar, but you have to go in. You can't get dismissed ahead of time, so you have to go in. And it was two big cases, and they split us into two different groups. We go in, and I am in the jury box at the beginning, and so I have to go through everything, and they will only dismiss you from there and then replace you. And so I was picked to be in the jury box at the very beginning, and all these different questions all day long, and I'm there and there and there. And it's a very long jury selection process. and it gets to the very last point of the day. They're like, they went all through these things, and it all comes down to it. And then each side gets to cut so many people off the jury. And I was one of the ones cut at that point. But I'd sat up there all day long, wasting my time only to get cut in the last minute. And this was weird
Lucky you.
because in my mind, yeah, lucky me, except for at this point, I was kind of invested and I kind of wanted to see it all the way through. And if it wasn't one of the busiest weeks of my life, I would have been very upset that I got cut at the last minute, because there was almost this feeling of like, well, why not me? I've been here all day. I put in my time. Why didn't you choose me? And so it was a weird, I was feeling both sides of it in the end. But it was a murder case, so I was kind of like, this could have been kind of interesting to be a part of. But
yeah, but that could go a long time too.
it could have. Yeah, they were planning on it at least a week, if not 2 weeks. And in Colorado, you don't get paid unless it goes over 3 days.
Oh, here you get paid $5 a day, but then if it goes 4 days or more, you can get like an extra $35
Okay.
a day or
I think it's up
something
to 50, I think, here, but you don't get paid
But
at
it's
all at the
stupid.
beginning.
I went and I just sat around in the room while they were waiting and talking, and I was like, I waited till lunch. I was there for probably about 5 hours, 6 hours, and then they came out and they're like, yeah, so they've been talking behind it and they're gonna settle out of court. You're all dismissed. And I was like,
Oh.
yes. My Michelle got called in for it, and the day before you have to call in, and she called in the day before, and they're like, oh yeah, your case has been dismissed. You're good. And then you that counts. You're good for 3 years. So I'm praying that happens. Like I called it on the 18th, and they're like, "Oh yeah, your case has been dismissed."
Free you up to play some Xenoblade.
Oh yeah.
So here I was going to throw down. I was getting ready to throw down the gauntlet, saying he has to have it fully beat by like the next podcast. So just like to reminisce of the Game of the Year podcast where you had to try to squeeze in 200 hours in like a weekend.
No.
Oh man, Greg, what are you gonna be
That will be
playing
my
over the next couple
celebration.
weeks?
Well, probably not a Xenoblade, unfortunately, but that won't be.
Jury Duty Simulator.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I would probably enjoy that one, but
I'll
yeah, I don't think anything
trade
really...
you.
There isn't anything on that card that you're not supposed to be showing, is there, Barry?
No,
blur
this
that
is
out
just
later.
you
Okay, good.
You are summoned. That's all. It's just that you are summoned. Go to this webpage. Follow this.
Okay, good.
Call.
Nice.
You'll blur it out if you want. I don't care.
Anything else?
Somebody has already paused it and stolen all your information.
Yeah.
But
my information actually isn't on there. Not in that side.
Okay.
Oh no, my name is. I'm sorry. And my jury order number is there. My jury number is there.
Well, back to games again. Hopefully it's going to be knocking some of the games off the game chat backlog here. So I think there's like the stunt flyer thing that we have, and then there's like that game that we pretty much got that we discussed last podcast that I'll be looking at as well. And then if any extra time were to be coming my way, I'll be probably hitting games off my actual backlog of games like the Echoes of Wisdom and like Brothership that have just been idly waiting to be played again. If not, maybe then like the Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, because my wife has been trying to play through that and she's been stuck on some of the bosses and like, here, you beat this. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I have the ability to cover that far into the game, having not played it in several years, but we'll have to see where things line up and what kind of time I have over the next few weeks.
Nice. I just found out apparently there is I think it is like someone else made this, but there's apparently a Call of Jury Duty game for Xbox at least. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna be playing. I'm maybe playing a lot of stuff that is okay to play in handheld. Maybe I'll play Pokemon Cafe because it's good in handheld, but I'm going to be traveling quite a bit. I'm going to be on the road and in the air and everything over the next couple weeks. So whatever sounds good on mobile is probably what I'm going to be playing a lot of. So I haven't planned that far ahead, but I head out this Friday and be back like the next Saturday. So we'll see what I play. Going into the chat room real quick. Looks like Jesse Glenn talked about first he got a Master System recently, which is really cool, and also talking about jury duty. Got summoned a few days ago too, and he said he's always just ignored them. Well, that's interesting. I don't think you're
That's
allowed to
illegal.
do that. So maybe we've just shed some light on him, and I apologize if you are now no longer in jury duty, but now you're going to have a case against you, Jesse. I hope that's not the case. But okay, reps said finished Guns of Fury last night. Cool. Thanks for the reminder because I totally forgot about Guns of Fury. I had it bookmarked and then I closed it and totally forgot about it. I can't remember if I bought it or not, but that might be a game that I'll play over the next couple weeks.
We got game chat codes.
Oh, we did. That's why I didn't buy it.
Yeah, we got code.
I've told you, like, this last week's been so busy, I forgot all about it. Yes, I'm going to be playing that game. That's what's going to happen. That looks fun, and I'm so glad I did. And we saved Greg some money because he was about to hit buy it now. I remember.
Yep. That's hoping to get to that one on the backlog and get that one played through. Just time wasn't on my side since the last podcast.
Nice. This wasn't too long, so yeah, that feels like a game I should be able to play in handheld and enjoy it, I think. So cool. Well, Barry, I hope you don't have to sit in jury for too long.
We'll have an interesting story next time. We'll see what happens. Find
Yeah.
out next.
What if you just bring your Switch with you? Would they immediately kick you out if you're sitting there playing Xenoblade instead? Or do they take it away?
When I went in last time, I had my DSi with me, and I was playing through Four Swords because the anniversary edition came out with all the extra stuff. So I was sitting there the entire time in the room just playing Four Swords, and no one cared because you was all like everyone's in a separate area, just sitting there waiting. Yeah, just like okay.
That's true because they don't allow you to have your cell phone with you, but that's not a cell phone. That's different because they don't want you to like communicate and stuff like that. But yeah, I wonder if you could bring your Switch in there with you.
Probably.
You should definitely.
My plan is to walk in there, pick somebody, and just walk up to them and go, "Hey, George, it's so good to see you. Oh, how have you been?" And they're gonna be like, "Do you know each other?" Like, we go way back, man. We always argue, though. Whatever they want, I say the opposite, man. They'll be like,
he
both
never
of you
remembers
out.
me.
They'll both of you out.
I just want them to see, like, okay, George, you go. We gotta keep this crazy guy here.
Right. Put you in for an evaluation.
That's when I go to the corner and just start like urinating in the corner and stuff. Like, get him out of here.
Definitely gonna be arrested at that point. I don't know about Jersey, but in Colorado, that's indecent exposure.
I think that's pretty much that's across the board. I would think.
I think so, but Jersey's Jersey.
No, it's across the board.
I don't know. They have the weird pizza rules out that way. You never know.
That's
Greg,
true.
I am so mad that I got you that code and saved you money now.
That's hilarious. Before we get into a big fight and go well over 2 hours, I'm gonna cut it right here and say thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. We're gonna be back, as we said earlier, on March 25th. We want to thank again before we close out. Thank you so much, Magic Mind, for sponsoring this episode. You can head over to magicmind.com/NF. It's magicmind.com/NF20. Don't forget the 20, NF20, to get up to 48% off your first subscription of Magic Mind, or you can get 20% off a one-time purchase of Magic Mind with code NF20 at checkout. So make sure you head over there, and thanks again to Magic Mind for sponsoring this episode. We're going to be back, as we said, on March 25th with our next episode. We're going to be talking all about Switch 2 predictions, as we'll just be just a little bit ahead of that Nintendo Direct. You guys are getting excited? Switch 2 is almost here. I don't know when they're going to announce it or when they're actually going to release it, but it's almost here. I can feel it. Like maybe it's like 26th. How crazy would that be if they're like March 25th? You can buy it in your stores tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
The 25th? No, it's April.
April.
2nd.
I wrote down the wrong thing.
It's time traveling
It's
again.
April. It's April. So yeah, April 2nd, because it's like the next day after April Fool's Day. They didn't want to chance it there. But
remember, we discussed this, was all the twos that they did. It was like
It's
2
true.
minutes and 22 seconds long was that teaser, and then it's like on the 2nd of April that they're covering this, and it's
That's right.
at
2
2 p.m. at some weird place.
It's true.
Are we gonna
That's
do a
when
live
Barry
stream
wasn't
on
here.
that?
We
Yeah.
might. Yeah, we might. I think I'm guessing, since it's a full Nintendo Direct, it's going to be an actual, like,
Yeah.
more than just a 2-minute video like we got before. So yeah, we may try to do a live stream reaction on that. If you guys want to do that, let us know in the comments. Toss it in the Discord as well. Let us know. But I think we're leaning toward doing a live stream reaction to the Direct.
Yeah, that's something special.
Yeah, sure. Well, that brings us to the end of episode 310. We'll be back again March 25th with our next episode, talking all about Switch 2 ahead of the Nintendo Direct. But until then, happy gaming, everybody.
Have a good one.
See you next time.